Thanks for joining us here on Sky Channel for 3 weekends of truck racing. For the first time in the history of truck racing in Australia, they've brought the big monsters over the Bass Strait down into Tasmania, and they've come to the Baskerville circuit just outside Hobart. Some 17 of them and a visiting champion from New Zealand, and this tricky little 2-kilometre track promises to be very difficult indeed for these big monsters with anything up to 1,000 horsepower. It should be tremendous racing, and we'll be bringing it to you over the next 3 weekends here on Sky Channel. The day of reckoning for Tasmania, the day trucks started racing at Baskerville Circuit near Hobart. Event 1 of about 7 on the program for these big behemoths. Some 100 tonnes of trucks forming up on the grid to tackle, seemingly to demolish, this 2.01 kilometre circuit just near Hobart. And what a grid it is. On the front row of the grid, Cole Lovett in the Volvo number 7 and Glenn Dobson in the big man number 6. Second row of the grid, Murray Porter in number 12. That's a big Kenworth. Brian Noonan's in 42. 31 is Ken McDonald. That's the third row of the grid. You saw there the Scania that's on the second row. This is the third row. The Diamond T there has Peter Pace in it, number 69. The fourth row, Mick Summers in 1. The fifth row is 53, Alan Forbes. And 13, Peter Hewitt. The next row is Paul Hay in number 9 and Stephen James in number 11. That's a little Isuzu. And then it's Lofty Richardson in number 10 on the back row with Albert Siebers in number 3. The big Ford. And now they're winding up for this flying start. 6 laps, 12 kilometres, they're underway. And straight into the lead goes Cole Lovett in the Volvo. Allison automatic transmission, a lot of them running automatics because the big heavy manual transmissions in these trucks take a long time to change, and those Allisons really do stand up to this rugged work. Some of these trucks poking out up to 1,000 horsepower, their owners say. Nobody seems to care very much. They know whether they've got enough or not, and they are awesome beasts. Cole Lovett doing the job, not as quick as the regular driver in number 7, Rodney Crick, but nevertheless very effective. And in the truck, or being followed by Albert Siebers' truck, Cedars, that's the Man Company from Germany, right in at the start of trucking and indeed of diesel technology, because Rudolf Diesel was an employee at Maschinenfabrik Augsburg, Nuremberg. And we're looking from that truck now, second place vehicle number 6. But that company that way back before the turn of the century was at the start of developing diesel engines with Rudolf Diesel. 1 lap completed now, and it's the Volvo leading away. A bit of a gap back to the New Zealand truck number 12, and he's got Mick Summers in 1, going through in fact in the mobile truck behind. This pair though doing the job up in front. Volvo from Sweden versus Man from Germany. And then the big black mobile Kenworth is in third place now. There it is, looming out of the big black cloud. They run them pretty rich, and the New Zealand Ampol Kenworth's in fourth place. That has Murray Porter at the wheel. But the Volvo, 12 litres, Allison automatic, turbocharged. They don't know if it's 800 horsepower or 1,000 horsepower. It doesn't matter. If you want your house moved, hook it up and they'll move it. Disappearing down the straight now, where by agreement in truck racing, they're limited to 160 kilometres an hour. And if they didn't, when they brake here, if they got out of control, they'd take most of the spectators, and there's a giant throng of them here, and half the hillside with them back into the river here. So coming around now to complete lap 2, it's still a tremendous battle between Lovett in 7 and Dobson in 6. Third place pulling away in 1 is Mick Summers. Fourth place then is another of the Kenworths, and they're a very popular truck for truck racing, although these 2 European trucks doing the job on them at the moment. But popular on the road for heavy freight haulage and popular on truck racing are the big Kennys. Made in Melbourne for many years, but from many parts of the United States and also Canada. Mostly fitted with Cummins V8s and 6s, and mostly with Fuller Road Ranger gearboxes, but in the case of truck racing, more than half this field with Allison automatics. There's the local Mobile Kenworth, then the New Zealand Kenworth, and then another big brace, enormous grill on that one. Then the Scania on your left, and the man going through on the right, that's Albert Cedars, who started last on the grid. And the leading pair again, Lovett, 7, Dobson and 6. Dobson's hand over that later to Big Al. Albert Cedars. He's actually in 3 at the moment, Albert, and Bill Cedars is one of the big operators in truck racing in Australia. 3 laps completed now, half race distance, and moving his way forward now in 6th place outright after having started in 15th. Albert Cedars, while these two romp around, have their own battle, and as you can see, not hard to cover a quarter as this pair too. The two Kenworths in 3rd and 4th are having their own big battle. Mick Summers in 1, and in the New Zealand truck number 12 is Murray Porter. Really are awesome machines, and look at those looming out of the black diesel cloud behind them, doing a tremendous job on this very, very tight Baskerville track. It's a very testing and indeed a very good road race track. Amazing, quite frankly, that the trucks can get round as they can. As you see, that battle for 2nd and 3rd and 4th at this battle. Further back, and oh dear oh me. Well, it happened. He tried to come across in front of Mick Summers there, and Summers said, sorry, you've got to go outside if you want that sort of thing, and give me a bit of space. And here it is. Right front mudguard on the Kenworth, nudges the left rear wheel on the other Kenworth, and the best that the Michelin tyres could do wasn't good enough once he got in the dirt. 6 tonnes going wild. Up at the lead, 6 tonnes well under control, and another 6 in close company. Lovett in 7. I bet he does too at the moment. It's going tremendously well for him. In practice, 71.43 seconds around this track. Amazing stuff. Averaging nearly 100 kilometres an hour, and this is a very hilly track. 3rd place there is the in the mobile truck, Mick Summers. And now another overtaking manoeuvre, soaring past Murray Porter in the truck of New Zealand, and going off again, a big friend of the dirt. And lucky that the Hobart Sporting Car Club people did a lot of furrowing around the outside of the circuit. Let's have a look at this wild manoeuvre. I want to get by, but I've gone too fast, and the truck, she can't hang on. No danger of tipping over. They look very top heavy, but in fact an enormous amount of weight is down very low. So all it did was a little bit of involuntary ploughing. 5 laps completed, just 1 remaining, part of 1, in this 6-lap race for Class A and B trucks, 12 kilometres around Baskerville. The air clearing, except for what these blokes are puffing out their exhausts. The sky becoming blue, the sun warming things up a little bit on what started off as a pretty cool day at Hobart. Down the straight now, and then hoping against hope that the big brake drums can haul this truck back to a civilised speed for the sweeper at the end of the straight. And indeed it does, and the checkered flag awaits Cole Lovett in truck 7, the victorious in that race from Glenn Dobson in truck 6. Quite a big gap back to a challenge now in the 3 heading to the finishing line, but it is 1 doing the job. Mick Summers coming out on top. So the official results of that first truck race ever in Tasmania and here at Baskerville Circuit for Class A and B trucks. Cole Lovett in the Swedish Volvo ahead of Glenn Dobson in the German MAN, and then in 3rd place from America, the Kenworth of Mick Summers, truck number 1. The fastest lap to Lovett in the Volvo, just a 1/10 of a second faster than Dobson in the MAN.